What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to Coffee Talk. You know what we do over here at Coffee Talk. We discuss current events, we discuss celebrity gossip, and we get into a little bit of Black history and achievements. If they ain't gonna talk about it over there, we for sure gonna go ahead and discuss it over here. How's everybody's morning so far? It's Tuesday, y'all. We chugging along. I ain't stepped foot outside today. I don't know what the weather is doing, but I like to know what the weather is doing so I know, how to move during the day. Do y'all do that? I get up and probably one of the first things I check is the weather. Good morning, John Tony. You do what is what's the weather where you at? Ooh, it's 48 here. That means I ain't trying to go outside. Ooh, dang, I gotta go to the store. It's gonna be treacherous. It's gonna be treacherous out here in these, degrees under 60 degrees. That's not what Florida's supposed to be about. Ugh, anyway, I'm gonna put on my hoodie. It's gonna be a revolution every time I leave. You cold, I'm cold. We all cold. If it's cold in Florida, I always figure it's got to be cold in other places. So, anyway, y'all, what are we talking about today? You know what we do. We gonna get into the things. I'm gonna start here. Um, we sometimes get out in these political streets and we be very confused as to what direction we should probably go in, especially when the person out here speaking is now melanated. But the way politics work, we have to focus on allies. That's what we have to do. We have to focus on allies and understand that allies means they are maybe in the process of learning what the culture is about, but they don't always understand and sometimes need to be educated. But I'm okay with that with an ally. You know what I'm saying? Because how else they supposed to know? You can't expect a person to know something that they don't damn know. So I say all that to say there's a little situation. I wouldn't call it necessarily a situation. There's a little conversation that's been going on the last couple of days about Governor Gavin. Now, Governor Gavin, he's the governor of California. So, for us, that doesn't really mean a whole lot because we don't live in California. However, I do feel like Governor Gavin is going to throw his hat out there in terms of presidency. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this is the person that we wanted. Well, when I say we, I mean me. This is the person that I felt like should have been running in the place of, not in the place of, but as her running mate. When Kamala got out there and she needed to pick a vice president candidate, but she couldn't choose him because she lives in California. He's the governor of California. This wasn't very well thought out, and I feel like it was some tomfoolery being played on both sides. But we're past that. We're here now, and I think this man, maybe it was like an opportunity to get him out there. So you know what I'm saying? Steps to the program, get him out there so all of us can know a little bit about him. I feel like he been on old boy's neck. He be out here very vocally talking. He cookout. I don't know. I feel like we should leave the politicians out of the cookout. However, somebody round to Governor Gavin's office, could take him a plate. You know what I'm saying? So he don't need to be at the cookout, but somebody run him a plate, let him know, what the flavors be like over here at the cookout. Anyway, he be stepping on old boy's neck. I think he's everything that this man hates because he's basically attractive according to, people's, what do they call it, guidelines and, standards of beauty. It works the same way, men and women, not the same way, but, if you look at a picture of this dude and you're looking at a picture of Trump, if you don't know anything, you probably just going to go with this guy. Anyway, Governor Gavin was over here having a conversation. What's happening here is a book tour. So this is where the flimflammery comes on. And Black billionaires, I pull a lot from y'all's website. I do, like daily. This is my go-to because this is where I get a bit of information. And if you haven't, if you have Instagram, go on over and, hit that follow, and then you'll have the same information that I'm sharing with you. And then we can have a whole conversation about it. Anyway, the title, the headline, California Governor Gavin Newsom is receiving backlash after he tells a black crowd in ATL he's just like them because he scored 960 and 1600 on his SAT. Ooh, I did better than that, Gavin. That was years ago, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. He can't read during an interview with the mayor of Atlanta. So he sits with the mayor of Atlanta and he's saying, what's going on. Let y'all hear what he's over here saying.
Than you. I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you. I'm like you. I'm no better than you. I'm a 960 SAT guy. and I'm not trying to offend anyone, trying to act all there if you got 940. But literally a 960 SAT guy. I cannot, you've never seen me read a speech because I cannot read a speech. Maybe the wrong business to be in. I'm no better than you. I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you. I'm like you. I'm no better than you. I'm a 960 SAT guy. and I'm not.
So this is Governor Gavin, the Atlanta mayor. And, oh, hey, guys, I was over here listening to Governor Gavin, and I did not say good morning to, the people over here. Good morning, Motown Investor. You here for the and you know what? I am so happy because I really want to hear your take on this. I don't care what anybody says. This is the real news. Oh, I appreciate that. I be trying, y'all. I don't know how newsy I am, but I sure try to share information that I get. Anyway, Governor Gavin over here. I feel like we get these clips, and like I said, it's hard for us sometimes to gauge whether somebody is an ally or not. This is a book tour. So, we're not going to frame it like this man is out here campaigning for anything. And like I said, they all of us say stupid shit. I'm not sure that this is stupid. And sometimes, because we got the current administration over here trying to bamboozle us, this is one of those situations where you have to do your research for real and not just go by what the headline is saying. So I don't know what I heard him say, to a group of people. He's sitting here with the black mayor. And they're saying that this is a black crowd, but this is what some of the people said that was over there. Somebody said this sounds just like the governor of New York saying black kids didn't know what computers were. Is that what he said? I don't know. This is Matt Barnes. And if you're not familiar, he's a former NBA player. He's, problematic, very much so, but he has a podcast too, so he's definitely in this content creator space. But it says, why edit the part that makes you feel good? Play the entire clip for context. Y'all blogs be so bogus because no one is going to look up the entire clip for context. That's a problem. I feel like you need to do that. Like when you're making decisions, especially in politics, and I'm only saying that because I feel like he's going to run for president, even though I guess we got to keep hope alive. But yeah, I would like to hear the whole conversation. Somebody said, I'd rather be called the N-word than illiterate. I love reading and I'm smart. So sorry if we don't relate. So this is the comment that got me. This guy said, this clip is completely out of context. I was there. That makes a big difference to me. He wasn't just sitting here on the internet like the rest of us coming to a conclusion based on him. When you think about, that other dude that we don't care for or we just downright want him to disappear, poof, dust. If there was some type of muted power that could just change people to dust, I'll probably take on that one. Poof, go over there. Poof, poof. Anyway, my fantasy land. Yeah, anyway, let me finish. This guy was there. So yeah, we need to do, put things into context. Oh shit. Bookham Barber in the house. Hey. Hey, got me all in my other girl voice. Anyway, the crowd was not predominantly Black. So that makes a difference. We see him sitting here with this Black mayor, and we just assume that, he's in a room full of Black people. This is somebody that was there. I was not there. I'm going by what, this person says. He said Black people and SAT scores. Wait a minute. Did I skip something? Oh, yeah. He says the crowd was not predominantly Black, and there was no connection made between Black people and SAT scores. He was criticizing the idea that leaders should present themselves as exceptional or elite compared to everyday Americans. That was the point. Nobody in the room interpreted it as a message directed at Black people, not one. I do not play about us. If there had been any disrespect towards Black people, I would have named it immediately. That did not happen here. If we're going to hold people accountable, we have to tell the truth about the full moment. Play the statement that came before this clip and let people hear the context. So where did this clip come from? Because for me, that changes everything. This man said it was not a room full of Black people, and this ain't even really how the conversation went. So I just wanted to share that with y'all because this is trying times, and what's going to happen is people that we think of as allies, and you always got to everybody keep their hands on the tables and keep your eyeballs on the swivel. We're not just going out here trusting anything that anybody says, regardless to what color they are, because we got Stephen A. Smith over here running his fat mouth, and we don't want to hear that. Anyway, now that I got that out my system, let's get into, the things that we usually get into first thing in the morning. Sister doctors. How about that? We got sister doctors over here. Black women doctors make history. Sister Dr. Jacqueline and Dr. Lorraine Phillips launched first Black-owned telehealth service for Black women. I'm so excited about this. I really want to know more. It says sisters Dr. Jacqueline Phillips and Dr. Lorraine Phillips just made history. They launched Melanin Doctor, the first Black-owned telehealth platform created exclusively for Black women. It's funny because they don't want you to say Black. That's one of those things that, you can't be in your, what do they call it? Your mission statement or any of that. They didn't say anything about melanated. So Melanin Doctor, everybody got melanin. Everybody got melanin. It don't matter what color you are. Some people have more than others. Shout out to them. But very smart. The first Black-owned telehealth platform created exclusively for Black women. Oh, sorry about it. Some of y'all gonna need to bring a little more melanin if you want to go over here. I don't feel like they would be turning anybody away. It says exclusively, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm happy to see it. For far too long, Black women's health concerns have been dismissed, minimized. It's early. Or overlooked. After witnessing firsthand how their own mother's health was handled, these sisters built a solution. Melanin Doctor now connects Black women across the U.S. with physicians who see us, hear us, and prioritize our wellness without bias. Hell yeah. I like this app. Can we download it, or are we just going to have to go over there and find it? This is what happens when Black women build for Black women. Yeah, I think this is great. Black women in business deserve visibility. If you're a Black woman entrepreneur making impact on what your brand or story featured on Pretty Shades of Melanin. Yeah, that's another one I look at a lot. So if y'all aren't following Pretty Shades of Melanin, you should. That is awesome. My daughter just had, she's got what do they call it? Irish twins. So it was very important to me for her to have a black a black OB, and she was blessed with both of her children to have one. So this is a network, and it's very important. This is what a revolution looked like. I don't know what y'all think, but these people is over here organizing, and I feel like we need to organize. One of the biggest things that this country is dealing with, I mean, racism been there. So, you know, when I see racists do racist things, for me, it's kind of not a big shock because, you know, they've been that way. They've been running around, you know, screaming nigga out in public. Anyway, I don't want to get into that. So yeah, I love this. I love that there's a network of people that, you know, can help guide you, especially, you know, insurance and all of that. We'll probably have to find some type of network for that. Get these banks and these insurance companies together to provide health care for people, you know, since they can't afford it, you know, over here on this other platform, or, you know, whatever, Medicaid, Medicare, they don't want y'all to have it. Or this is another one. We're going to stick in the medical field today. This is a whole team. For the first time ever, 5 Black surgical residents will lead trauma and acute care surgery at the prestigious Johns Hopkins Hospital. Johns Hopkins is over here still. I don't look like they DEI. It look like they got a whole team over here so that when they have questions that relate to the community, maybe they have a team that they can, you know, refer to. Anyway. For the first time ever, 5 African-American surgical residents will lead trauma and acute care surgery at the prestigious Johns Hopkins Hospital. Okay, I'm about to jack this up. These are their names. Ife Shoyombo. I told y'all ahead of time. Ivy Manoa, Valentine, Aaliyah, Zach, Enuma, and Lawrence Brown. I mean, I feel like Lawrence is the only one from around here, just based on their names, unless, you know, somebody's parents, you know. Anyway, shout out to them. Johns Hopkins. That's where Wendy was before she, you know, lost her Johns Hopkins job and went over there to Real Housewives of Potomac. Anyway, speaking of medical insurance and, you know, all the things that we need out here in terms of healthcare, child, it's ugly. This lady, I'm gonna let her tell her story.
Kidney disease took Ramona Rakestraw to dialysis at age 28, then a transplant. 30 years later, back on dialysis and a cancer diagnosis in 24. All that time, she's received SSI, Supplemental Security Income, from Social Security. Shocked when it stopped last October.
And so when you called them, they told you what?
They told me my immigrant status was being questioned. And so I said, I'm not an immigrant.
But there are circumstances that can trigger flags about citizenship status. So I ask.
Have you ever lived out of the country?
No.
Have you been out of the country for 30 days or longer?
No.
I went further.
Have you been out of Dallas County?
No.
Ever in life?
Never.
Rakestraw says she took her ID and her birth certificate, born in Parkland Hospital, 1966, to her Social Security office. Then receiving this letter from the Social Security Administration.
Saying we cannot give you your benefits.
We cannot pay you benefits because you are not lawfully present in the U.S.
That's my income, my whole income.
Now, you do have the right to appeal.
Yes. And I have written out the forms and everything, and I am appealing.
If you receive notice of benefit denial or suspension, you have 60 days to request an appeal. You must have an in-person meeting and update your status to prove citizenship. Your case will be reviewed by a different person than the one who made the denial decision.
And you hope that's approved?
Yes.
What happens if not?
I don't know. Have to just take it a day at a time.
So what? Well, we really don't know yet because Social Security tells me due to privacy concerns, they cannot respond to my inquiry. It could be a procedural error, a mismatch of data. The Institute for Responsive Government says it could also be incomplete or outdated citizenship data in Social Security records. Social Security did indicate, though, they would contact Ramona Rakestraw, and she was heading back to Social Security after our interview today. We'll keep you posted.
All right, Sean, we know you will. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, I just have a question, because I come with a lot of questions. Has this happened to anybody white? Has anybody white, had to go through this? Like, what triggered, you know what I'm saying, her being some, Black woman from Dallas, wherever little town she's from. She's never left the country. So if she's never left the country, she probably doesn't have a passport. Social Security. She's been getting these checks all these years. I feel like there's a record that was way easier to fix this. This shouldn't be a thing where she got to go down to the news station to get it handled. They know exactly what they're doing. And if y'all system is flawed as hell, just wait when it's time to vote, y'all. We going to get down to the polls. My youngest came in the other day to, make sure we planned on voting in the primary. So I'm glad she, got her own ear to the streets and knows what's going on. Anyway, that sucks. Just another prime example. We need, I think it's fabulous that we have these doctors. Now we're going to have to figure out, how to have our own network for other things. If we're going to separate it and segregate it, let's do it. Obviously, we have the brain power. Everything that I've seen in the last, since I started doing this, and, some prior to, but now that I'm looking for it specifically, everything great that we are, using or benefiting from came from our community. You know what I'm saying? So come on. We got to have a revolution, and we can't have it if these are the people that are educating our children. Y'all, public school system sucks. So if you have your kids in the public school system, one thing I can say, and I did have my kids in the public school system, but both of the younger two did virtual school. So, it was like we could have conversations about the things that were going on at school and, educate ourselves together. It's almost like a second chance of going back to school and getting information. I dropped out again at algebra. Both times algebra kicked my butt. This happened down at the school, and I'm gonna let you listen to it, then we'll talk about it.
Schools that they're too dumb to know they're in a bad school. I mean, apparently Martin Luther King said it. If you train a Black person well enough, they'll know to use the back. You don't have to tell them anymore. They just
Allison Friedman, what you're saying is absolutely hearable here. You've got to stop.
What happened? They went blank.
I'm sorry.
There we go.
Go ahead, baby. I'm sorry.
Me and many of the students take our classes and went back to students on Fridays. He delivers lessons and helps us fit those skills into our lessons.
schools that
This helps
they're
us
too dumb to know they're in a bad school.
independent in our class.
I mean, apparently Martin Luther King said it. If you train a Black person well enough, they'll know to use the back. You don't have to tell them anymore. They just
Allison Friedman, what you're saying is absolutely hearable here. You've got to stop.
Okay, I played that, twice, just, for y'all that are listening and not looking. I had to read it anyway because it was a little bit difficult to tell what's going on, but, you can hear this lady in the background. So it says, neighbors, it's really us versus everybody. A Hunter College associate professor is making headlines after she was caught going on a racist rant against Black people. This was like a Zoom call. There's 15 people in here. According to the New York Post, Allison Friedman made the remarks during a community education council meeting that took place on February 10th. During the meeting, an 8th grade girl was giving a speech about her concerns regarding the possibility of her school being closed. 8th grader. This is while an 8th grader is talking. As the girl was speaking, you can hear Friedman interjecting in the background, not realizing she could be heard. They're too dumb to know they're in a bad school. But it didn't stop there. After dropping a curse word, Friedman went on to say, if you train a Black person well enough, they'll know to use the back. You don't have to tell them. Is she for real? She is, 100%. As Friedman made her statement, you can see members in the meeting visibly shocked due to her blatantly racist comments. Once listeners realized what she was saying, she was told that she could be heard and was immediately ordered to stop speaking. So this is the part that pissed me off. The university has since been made aware of comments and released a statement calling them abhorrent. Friedman also addressed the situation. Well, she has something to say, child. Friedman also addressed the situation following the backlash. I fully support these courageous students. Shut the fuck up, lady. Sorry, it's early. In their efforts to stop school closures, I recognize these comments cause harm and pain. While that was not my intent, I do truly apologize, she said in a statement. What was her intent? I would love to have the questions with these ladies. This lady, to be honest. And as of now, it's unclear whether she still has a job. This is definitely concerning. What are your thoughts? Well, my thought is she should definitely not have a job. What the hell? What the heezy? What the helly? She should not have a job. What did her statement say? She fully supports these courageous students, the ones that are too dumb to know they have a bad school. Why do they have a bad school? You know, let's get into it. And this is a college. And if this Hunter, what is the name of this college, child? So we all know. Hunter College. We're going to find out. I'm going to sit down, I think, this afternoon and write me an email to Hunter College and find out what the hell is actually happening. Why did they invite that student over there? I got questions. And so I'm going to let y'all know. I'll share it with you tomorrow. This pissed me off. I'm so tired of this, educating and the way they're treating our students. You know what I'm saying? Our young people. Child, this lady has some tea. It's very scary. So, I don't know. I mean, I do know, and I believe her. And I don't think of it as a conspiracy theory, especially based on this administration and how they're protecting the pedos. Listen to what this lady had to say.
I guess we're doing now of is it truth or conspiracy, because the truth is as crazy as conspiracies these days. I need you to follow me on this one. The Department of Education, which is being run by a woman who is married to a man who has covered up sexual abuse of children. So pedophiles, connected webs, all these pedophiles in positions of power. They're moving K-12 education, elementary and secondary education, to the Department of Labor. The Department of Labor. At the same time that they are removing child labor laws so younger kids can work, I think as young as 10.
Fuck out of here. At
the same time, states are lowering the age of consent to 14, and some want to push it down to 12.
Oh, Jesus.
Our country's being run by a bunch of pedophiles or pedophile apologists at this point, you guys. The Department of Labor. At the same time, we're declassifying teachers, social workers, counselors, nurses as professionals. We're removing the mandated reporters, and we're putting public education into the Department of Labor while we're removing child labor laws. And these are all being run by people who are pedophiles or pedophile adjacent. I need us to do the red string Charlie Always Sunny vibes right now. It's all connected. It's all connected. They're dismantling public education so they can make children desperate, because you can't prey on children who have what they need. You can't prey on children who are being educated, who have health care, who have child care, whose parents can pay for things for them. They are setting up a system where they have prey. They have access to prey because kids are going to be vulnerable. And they're setting it up department by department. I need us to pay attention to what's happening. In this episode, I guess we're doing now
That is wild. That's wild. And I feel like we go through our day to day. We don't think about that kind of stuff at all. We definitely don't think about, you don't think about, Department of Labor, Department of Education. Everything has kind of been in a segregated, I don't know, group. You know what I'm saying? What'd you say? Hunter College is in New York. Mm-hmm. Hunter College is in New York. They have been racist to Black students since the beginning of the school. That's probably why this lady was over here still having a job, and we're not questioning, what she had going on or anything. We just gonna sit up here and let her make this fake statement and say, sorry about it. I really do care about these kids. And, why are you even inviting these children over here? What was that all about? Like, if you feel some type of way, we didn't even have to come over here. And then the thing about it is, she's saying how bad the school is, but I heard the little girl talking about the people within her school that have, uplifted and, had positive things. So is that the problem? You closing the school because there's some positive role models over there, despite, the school being poor or what the issue is. Yeah, I'm still writing a nasty email to Hunter College. So, yeah. So anyway, back to this lady. The children that she was talking about are our children. You know what I'm saying? Their kids won't be in public school. Their kids will be in private school, being indoctrinated, with racism. They have a whole nother problem. That's why you have all these young kids running around. They're supposed to be young and, understanding what happened. And, they have a whole history that they could have studied, but they're running around with tiki torches because they've been indoctrinated to believe all the things that they believe. Segregate. That's my word of the day. I'm here for it. And then to lower the age from 18 is legal, allegedly, age of consent down to 12. Are you serious? I told y'all my neighbor across the street has that Trump flag in his garage. He's not white, he's Cuban. We say Epstein in his ring cam now. Ugh. Over here, 12 years old. That's the age of consent. It's weird, like, how they're maneuvering, what departments they're putting things in, who covers what. I want to see a list. And I'm going to get a list, and I'm going to bring it over here to y'all so we can at least know what the flamfluzery is going on over here. Speaking of pedos, we got another one. Did y'all used to watch To Catch a Predator? when they would, have all those people like lined up one right after another coming over from, their house and their happy home to meet some 12-year-old. That was my show. I used to get so much joy out of watching them get caught. They caught another one. It's your boy. He just looked like some nasty old man. Where is it at? Aaron Hall was over here hiding out. So I guess I forgot that they were looking for this dude, based on things that were said, in relation to what was going on when he was out here with Puffy. Aaron Hall is just scary. He's been telling y'all flat out of his mouth what he's up to, writing in songs and every kind of thing. He's small too. I just want to point that out. I don't know why, but he's not a big dude. He's one of those little angry niggas. Aaron Hall has now been formally served as a sexual assault, as SA, I guess I'm supposed to say, served in an SA lawsuit after authorities tracked him down at an extended stay America in Alpharetta, Georgia. He down to the extended stay. Probably still being nasty. The delivery of legal documents comes after months of reported difficulty locating the singer. According to All Hip Hop, the civil complaint was brought by Lisa Gardner, who alleges that Hall and Diddy SA'd her in 1990 when she was 16 years old. Gardner says the alleged incident occurred following an industry event connected to MCA Records. She's seeking financial damages through the court. For over a year, the process server reportedly searched multiple states trying to reach Hall. Attempts in several cities were unsuccessful, and at one point, Gardner's attorney informed the court that standard service efforts had failed. Alternative service methods were even requested before Hall was ultimately located in Georgia. Ooh, that was a mouthful. Hall, former member of R&B group Guy, has maintained a low public profile in recent years, looking like we'll be seeing him in court. Good morning, Elsid. I wish there were more. I don't feel like this dude has any money. I feel bad for her. I mean, you know, I don't know how, 1990, so she was 16, so she's still young. I don't know that she'll get any money. Does he have any property? Seemed like he'd been on the run since he found out y'all was looking for him. Hall goes to extended stay in Alpharetta. Russia's Summers goes to Bali. Tell me you broke without saying it. Yes, he don't have any money. And I mean, these are not criminal charges. You know, this is just, they found him. They caught up with him. Look at him. He looks like somebody's old, disgusting ass uncle. Ew. Nasty old wife beater, hoodie down from, probably the Goodwill somewhere or one of his homies. He looked like, okay, this is what he looks like. You know, when you know someone, family member or what have you, that's been locked up. And then when they come home from jail, they grab those clothes that they had, so they running around like it's 2026 in like a FUBU sweater or, tracksuit, Carl Kanai sweatsuit. I'm sorry, y'all. That's just what he looks like. He looks like that guy that just got locked up, and that's the last jewelry he had. And who was holding the jewelry? Not none of his homies, because that jewelry would be gone. So somebody, I'm not saying Aaron Hall, I'm just saying that's what it looks like. Some girl that he's writing letters from jail, that's got her heart tied up, in her love in the penitentiary. Yeah, she was holding on to the jewelry because, she thought it was going to be a thing. And when he gets out, he runs off with his Carl Kanai sweatsuit and, his one and only jewelry. Not this guy, but, he looks like that guy. Because I don't know what he got on, but it seems like it came from the 90s. The staff must have told on him because I would not recognize him. You would not recognize this as Aaron Hall. This looked like Earl that be down to the 7-Eleven buying Newports and a 40 ounce of Coke 45. I don't know. That's just what it's giving. Aaron Hall's, they found him, child. Good luck to that lady. And I mean, I don't really want to make light of it. Good luck to that lady like that. But I don't think this man has any money. So, I feel like she's spending a lot of money. Diddy don't have no money. Not really. Like, he was there. Does she have a loose lawsuit? I'm guessing she has a lawsuit with Diddy. And, she going to have to stand in line because everybody got one. This couple, this stood out to me. What do they call it? What I paid for versus what I got or whatever they be saying out here. These young people had a baby shower. What if I ask, they have it right here. What if I ask for versus what I got? The couple spends $10,000 on a baby shower that was executed poorly. A couple is speaking out after the baby shower for their first child was completely ruined. Amira explained that the airline details they had asked for were missing, and during the event, the planner was trying to bring in props and paint them. The couple paid $10,000 and said the event organizer is refusing to refund them. Amira tells us that she's looking into pursuing legal action. Well, I mean, she absolutely should. You know, Judge Judy will hand this lady her, I don't know, y'all might not get 10. Who are these people? That's what I want to know. I don't recognize him or her. He looked like a short king. That doesn't mean anything. I'm just saying that because that's what he looked like. This is the entryway for the event. This is the specs that they showed the girl that she was going to get. You know, she's supposed to have like these little backdrop that's very cute. You can get all this stuff on Pinterest. Like, I really would I think she should definitely sue. You can get all this stuff. If you're a planner, then you have access to all these things. You know, you have the picture. I've seen all these things at baby showers that probably didn't cost $10,000. I'm sure it didn't. Child, she got these drapes up here on that, what do they call it? PCP, PVC pipe or whatever they have. This is supposed to be the entryway. There's no backdrop and there's no signs with their picture. It's just some pink drapes poorly thrown up there. Like I can still see everything. So this isn't a beautiful entry. There's some balloons there. They're not exactly put together. They look like they losing life. They look like somebody was scared to put that final pump on. When you're an event planner, you need people. Seriously, you need people. You need people to assist you to, you know, put all this shit together. Trust me, I know. So yeah, that's the entryway. It looks like they just getting started. That's what it looks like. It looks like they're just getting started to put things up. Tables and centerpieces. So these are the tables and centerpieces that they paid for, and they're lovely. You know what I mean? Very elaborate. I want to see, you know, flowers are expensive. So, you know, you can get costly getting fresh flowers. They just got pink. Where is this venue? Child, you could have called Letitia Pearson from Bell Collective and got better than this. She does know how to do a banquet table. These pinks don't even go together. This is nothing like what it's bad, y'all. It's really bad. What's happening here? Here's them. Here's the couple. She looks very upset. She's got on her cutest pink hoochie mama. You know, I'm pregnant, but I'm still cute. She looked like she about to blow. You know, when your nose start getting wide, that means she ain't even really feeling good. You know what I mean? He's in here, his pink sweater. He's here. $10,000. What do y'all do? Who are you? You know what I mean? If he's like an athlete or something, this wouldn't have happened because, you know, they know who to go to. Child, she came dancing in, you know, because she wants to, you know, it's here, it's now. She's got her guest there. She's got to make her entrance. It's sad. It's sad. You know what it looks like? I'm trying to paint a picture for y'all that's like, can't look at it. It looks like, you know how the kids have started doing like these over the top prom photo before they leave and go to prom, and everybody come over and their mom and their cousins and stuff come to watch them, you know, go off on the prom. That's what it looks like. This man got on a t-shirt and a pink rose-colored hoodie, some jeans that are baggy down to the floor. I don't know, you know, like I said, he's a short king. And, you know, probably some very expensive tennis shoes. Like, I feel like his clothes cost a lot, but man, them jeans is dragging underneath his shoes. Oh, it's bad. Here's the, you know, poor girl. All of that, I've been happy the whole pregnancy. I've been screaming and went out the window quickly. She's had a wonderful pregnancy, except for this day. I mean, it's trash now. And here these people are with some kind of bar table or something, and they're actively bringing it in, trying to paint it while the event is already taking place. Is she okay? You need to put her name out there. You need to put her name out there and let the people know that this ain't the way to go. That's terrible. This is what I take from that. This is just my personal opinion. I'm not in these people's pockets. I have no idea why you would be wasting $10,000 on a darn baby shower. That sounds ridiculous. On one hand, yes, you got ripped off, but on the other hand, you deserve it to some extent. I'm here, Elsie, $10,000 on a baby shower. I didn't even spend that on a wedding, and it could. You know how much money you can save by finding a venue that's already done. Y'all stay out of these banquet halls trying to build a set with, you know what I mean, with card tables and sparkling tablecloths, for goodness sakes. How much is the child's college fund? I feel like a lot of people would like to know that, Elsie. The paint fumes was probably wild. Can you imagine trying to eat your deviled egg and they in there spray painting pink on the table? I want to feel sorry for them, but I don't. I think that's ridiculous. I think it's a baby shower. You don't need 700 people there. You find you a nice venue of the people that are going to be your support system. You have a nice dinner, and you would have been out of $2,500, maybe, you know, depending on the venue. Come on. Anyway, are y'all Met Gala fans? I am a Met Gala person, and so I will be covering the Met Gala. We'll probably do it over here. And the Met Gala 2026 dress code has been unveiled as fashion is art. The chair people this year at the Met Gala, Beyonce. Yes, Beyonce will be over here as one of the chairs. Venus Williams. Ooh. I want to see what Venus got going on. I'll be pulling for her and Serena. I'm going to say this. Venus, you know, at least she ain't over here looking a fool with, you know, casket ready makeup and, you know, whatever Serena is doing over there. Anyway, yeah, her fashions be Venus to me is the perfect like prototype for what a model looks like. I just don't know that she's ever been styled in a way, few times, but you know, not really. Nicole Kidman, feel like she's been the queen of, you know, the red carpet and such for a very long time. So yeah, I'm glad, you know, I'm glad that the Met Gala is coming up because, you know, it's probably, you know, my favorite out of all of the red carpets. I feel like I love the Met Gala the most. Most of us fashion girlies do. And based on what you see here, art is fashion. Art is fashion. Monique Samuels over there on RHOP. So when you want to make yourself a red triangle dress and call it a pyramid, maybe you should see what's happening over here on the red carpet at the Met Gala. And somebody will probably show you that, yeah, what you had on it was a costume. I went on a tangent. Venus is the silent assassin with fashion recently. Yeah, I mean, like I said, she's got beautiful bone structure. This hair in this picture is nice. I like this hair. And yeah, it's just been the stylist of it all a lot of the times. So I'm looking forward to this. And, you know, Anna Wintour gonna do what Anna Wintour gonna do. Where are we gonna end it at? Did I have it? We'll go over to the page. The Met is in May. Well, I mean, they didn't tell us anything. I guess, you know, they got to go ahead. You know, Academy Awards is coming up. May is a little late for the Met Gala. I'm cool though on knowing the theme, because I feel like I'm always kind of like, we find out the theme in the moment and we're looking at it like, so what the hell? Art is fashion. Fashion is art. That's such a general description of things. So we're gonna see, you know, what the art and the fashion look like over here. I can wait till May. You know, these months is flying by. Hell, we already to March. So whew, when is the Academy Awards? Everything feels pushed back because, yeah, the Golden Globes was this month. I don't really get into them anymore. Like I said, I'm pretty much over here usually just looking at the red carpet, and I only want to see the people I want to see. So Where are they at? Did I lose them? Oh man. Now I have to go find it. It's probably over here at Melanin, Pretty Shades of Melanin. That sounds like one of their stories. Yep, here it is. Meet Sashay Ivy, the Black woman behind Chicago's largest Black woman-owned construction firm. You don't hear that often. I think that's very dope. Chicago is a big old city too. So, cha-ching. Meet Sashay. Your mama named you Sashay, child. Meet Sashay Ivy, the visionary founder behind Pink Hard Hats Construction. Okay. Chicago's largest Black women-owned construction firm. For 16 plus years, she hasn't just built structures, she's built power, access, and opportunity in an industry that rarely makes room for us. Nice. This is what it looks like when Black women position themselves at the top, I guess. From the startup into industry leader, Sashay Ivy proves that ownership is impact. Drop a strong arm if you're inspired by women breaking barriers. I mean, I think that's great. That's something that you don't hear of ever, really. I don't know about the pink hats, girl, because if you need to hire some men over there, they probably not going to want to wear a pink hat. I'm just saying. But I love that. Oscars is in March. And then what are we doing for April? Probably SAG or something like that. So, yeah, I don't know. I think once the Oscars is usually in February, I feel like everything maybe got pushed out a little bit. Maybe they had a hard time finding people that wanted to come over and be anywhere near them. But that's all I got for today, y'all. What's today? Today is Tuesday. So y'all enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. I'll be back tomorrow at 10 o'clock with some more coffee talk. In the meantime, I'll see you when I see you. Bye, y'all.